Hey everybody, John Grimsmo here. It is January 31st, 2015. I want to wrap up the year with you guys and sort of go over the whole year, everything we've done. I think there's quite a few things that I've done that I haven't talked about, so maybe we'll get through that. I've got a little list going here, so let's just start off right in the beginning. January 2015, about Christmas 2014, the seed was planted in my head that it's time to look into getting a bigger machine. Keeping the Tormac for general use, moving into a bigger machine for production and accuracy and quality and all that stuff. So I actually seriously looked into getting a Haas in January 2015. And I was pretty close to getting it, but my bank financing turned us down because we didn't have the credit history and apparent cash flow and all that stuff that the bank required to give us the loan. So we were really close to getting a Haas Super Mini Mill to put in our garage at the old house, because that's literally the biggest machine that I could fit in the garage there. I'm thankful that didn't work out. It would have been great, and things would have happened well. But I'm happy that we're where we are now. So anyway, January, that's what we went through. We were also getting lots of Norsemen out the door on the Tormac, and lots of happy customers, lots of interaction with the customers. Instagram started taking off. Both Eric and I posting a lot more stuff on there, so that was a lot of fun. In February, we designed a new knife, the Rask, which, boom. So I basically challenged Eric with sit down with a pen and paper and start drawing designs. And he went through and kept texting me pictures of iterations, and I was like, I like that one, don't like that one. And then we saw one, and I'm like, that's the one. Refine that, I'll put it into CAD, and we'll make a prototype. So like February, March, I think we made the prototype, this actual one. And we've been carrying it ever since. Eric absolutely nailed the design. It's a bit more classic than the Norseman, a bit sleeker, slimmer, well, not slimmer, but just really nice. A nice change from the Norseman to add to our arsenal, having something different, which is great. So we designed that in February, and since the Haas deal did not work out, I was racking my brain on how do I want to produce it? Because at the time I didn't have the capacity to make a ton of knives with the one Tormac and just the two of us, and we were limited by quite a lot of things. So how do we make a lot of them? So I seriously looked into making it a straight up mid-tech where I'm outsourcing most of the work and we're doing the assembly in-house. Having the blades CNC ground like a production knife, like a Spyderco or something. Having the handles and clip and blade machined at machine shops. So I looked all around, I got quotes, I got prices. It is affordable. The money does work if you have the customer base to sell enough of them. However, I couldn't give up control. That was the thing, is the more I talked to these shops, and I found some really good shops to work with, the more I talked with them and the more I think about my own design process, the more I'm like, I don't know if I can let them be in charge of our knives. The bevel grinding, I'm fine with that. But all the machine work, knowing how much time we put into it in the coding, designing, testing, tuning, tweaking, I'm thinking, is that just us doing it inefficiently? Or is that us doing it perfectly? Like everything has to be dead nuts accurate to the best of our ability. And will somebody else care that much and love it that much? And the more I thought about it, the more I was getting scared that it would be a lot of money for a product that was not good enough for us. And I've heard horror stories with other makers doing mid-techs, and they get parts back and they're just not good. Like holes aren't where they're supposed to be, they're not the right size, surface finish sucks, rejects, all this stuff. And I couldn't give up control. So that brings us to April. If you look back, I put up a video from April, a little bit later, of the Elliot Matsura tool show. Very cool open house CNC show. We get to go to a bunch of different machine tool distributors and see the big toys and how the big boys play. And I started walking around, as I said in that video, looking at the prices, you know, some of the big 5-axis ones starting at, you know, $250,000. And I'm going at that going, you know, I can actually see that now. You know, it's way out of my price range still, but I can fathom it. I can see the justification behind why people spend that much money on such a machine. And that shifted my mind right there. I mean, as I said, I was already looking into the Haas. But that fell through, and I was kind of down after that. But going to that show and seeing all the big machines, and I went deep with some of the sales guys and the tech applications engineers there, and they convinced me that it's good. I'm not explaining this properly here. Anyway, my mind was made up that maybe it was time to look into bigger machines at some point. So a couple nights after that, I couldn't sleep. Like, I stayed up in bed, laid there the entire night. Usually I'll get up after an hour and be like, I can't sleep. No, I laid in bed the entire night and mentally crunched the numbers and the plan and how we would afford a big machine and what kind of ones we would get, and would we go for a Haas or would we go for something better? Why would we go for something better? I couldn't sleep all night. It was kind of weird. So that being said, I pitched the plan to Eric and my wife, and I was able to pitch it in a convincing way that made them kind of see it and go, okay, well, let's look into this anyway. So anyway, we looked into all the machines, not all the machines on the market, but certainly lots of them. Haas was a front runner, and then we're like, well, monthly payment-wise, how much more is it to get a better class machine, a Japanese machine, let's say? So anyway, we crunched it and we figured it out, and it's a lot more. It might even be double in some scenarios. But we're like, how many knives a month is that? And will the knives be better? And will we be happier with the machine? And will it be more reliable? And will we love it that much more? Et cetera, et cetera. And the justification started to become clear. So we were looking at Makino. The only thing I didn't like about Makino is that they have their PS95, I think it's called. Great looking machine, like fantastic machine. Apparently online the controller is older than it should be. But the salesman wanted to sell me their floor model, their display machine, which has been used and brought to many, many shows, and sell it to me for full retail price. And I was like, it's a 3-year-old machine and you want to sell it to me for retail? Bye-bye. So then we seriously looked into Brother Speedio machines. I was very close to choosing a Brother Speedio. They're amazing machines. Just go to YouTube and search for Brother Speedio. They're fast and they're fun and cool and really cool. Anyway, and then this Moriseki came up. Demo machine, 2014 model, very low hours, just a showroom machine. They gave me a stellar deal. They basically threw in the Renishaw probing package, which is a ton of money, on top of a good deal. So it was like a good deal on top of a good deal, and it became the choice is clear. So anyway, that was May 2015. I guess I've been wanting to talk about the thought behind the machine for a while, and I'll throw it into this video. So yeah, May 2015, and then we're like, well, how do we afford such a gigantically large down payment for such a gigantically expensive machine? So we did a pre-order for the new knife, which had huge response. Our very loyal fans jumped all over it. A new model from Grimsmo Knives. Holy crap! Yes, let's do it. So the pre-order for that launched May 21st, and we sold tons of them, which was awesome. And they've been trickling in ever since, which is just fantastic. Thank you guys so much for ordering. I owe you guys videos on the processes we're going through, and I'm working on that now. Today, actually, I'm going to shoot some, hopefully. So we've got the Mori purchase. And then, of course, since we're getting a bigger machine, we cannot fit it in our garage at home. Literally, it won't fit. and the weight was too much for the floor we were on. There was a basement underneath, and it was cracked and everything, and doesn't have the power. I mean, this thing runs on 233 phase, so we need a shop, and that was a big mental shift to get a shop, because I mean, I told myself for many years I just want to work alone, and then I hired Eric came on, and we partnered up, and then I'm like, okay, just Eric and I, you know, we don't need to hire anybody else. We don't need a bigger shop. We can do this all from our garage, as is, blah blah blah. But you know, you gotta be mobile. You gotta change. You gotta be okay and open to new ideas and new change. So we did, and then everything started coming together. Like, okay, bigger machine. Should we get a shop? Yes. And that was a huge mental hurdle to get over. To get into a shop, to commute to work, to have monthly payments on the shop and the machine. Whereas before we didn't have like any payments. We had house rent and electricity and all that, but you know, all the other machines are paid off, and it's a lot of extra expense coming out. So big deal. So we started looking for a shop, and I actually signed for the Mori before we found a shop space. And I'm like, okay, it's going to take a few weeks to get the Mori delivered. We got to find a shop now. So we found a real estate broker in town, and he looked hard for us. And we went around to a few different places. And it's weird looking at real estate, because it's just, you look at a house and you're like, it's dingy. I don't know. You could soup it up. You could fix it, whatever. So we came into this place, as I showed in my first shop cleaning video. It was dirty and, you know, junk in here and not well lit and smelly and all that, but I saw the potential, and we signed for it. And then we spent the next month solid cleaning and painting, while making zero income, which was maybe not the best idea, but we did that, and I got videos up of that. And now we're in, and then we moved in, and then throughout the summer, in early June 2015, we went to Blade Show, which is always a fantastic experience. I believe that was our fourth Blade Show, maybe third or fourth Blade Show. It's awesome to go there and meet the customers and interact with the fans and sell knives directly and get feedback directly from people. Like put our knives into people's hands that have never felt them before, and see the wow factor in their eyes, which is always fantastic. Show them to other makers, get ideas from other makers, collaborate, help people, answer questions, help other makers figure out little detail thingies. I love going to Blade Show. I'm really looking forward to this year. Actually, at Blade Show last year, Brad Southern and I, we're good friends, we've got tables, and at Blade Show they have like tables, the SIA tables, and then they have the booths, which is the next step up. You know, it's twice the cost, a bit more space and all that. And we're like, you want to partner up and get a booth together? Heck yeah. And you got to kind of jump on the booths if you wanted to get a chance to get one. So literally the last day of the show, we both walked together to the booth organizer lady and said, well, let's get a booth together, write us down, and we'll do it. So yeah, 2016 Blade Show, Southern Knives and Grimsmo Knives pairing up together. We got some cool ideas. Please come by the booth. It's going to be amazing. So Blade Show was awesome. We did not go to Vegas to the USN gathering this year. It's just too busy. We just moved into the shop. We just got the Mori, and it's not a good time for us. You know, after we got the shop and started moving in, production basically went to a trickle. We made some knives and we got them out, but not very many at all. So August 20th or so is when we got the Mori delivered. I do have a video of the delivery, which is with my editor right now. Hopefully it'll go up soon. Getting low battery on my GoPro here. Anyway, I think I'll have to switch out batteries, but let's see how long we can stretch it. Yeah, getting the Mori delivered was a huge kind of exciting adventure. You know, this ginormous thing, 15,000 pounds, coming in on a forklift, like you watch it tilting and all that, and I'm just, it's so scary. I've heard of people dropping these big machines, and it's no good. So that was exciting. And then training, the sale applications engineers came in and trained us for a whole day, and then the renovation guy came in and trained us for a whole day, and that was like mental overload. But I really like learning quickly and hands-on and fast, and just sucking it all in, to the point where I need a nap afterwards because my brain just shuts down. But that's always fun. I like doing that. I will say that the learning curve on the Mori was bigger than I thought it would be. There's a lot of little like detail things that just took me a long time to wrap my head around. We were making parts within days of being fully trained and fully installed and all that stuff, but to make like proper fixtures and proper good parts, we were at it for a couple months of just dicking around. Maybe it's our perfectionist nature. Maybe it's we weren't as aggressive, as quick as we could have been, but that's just who we are, me especially. I'm a very slow, methodical guy. I think big, but my path needs to be on course. I need to like delve myself into it. Whoops. So yeah, it's been, we've had it since August. It's the end of the year now, and we're just getting knives out the door. We could have done it a lot sooner, but this is the process. We didn't want to rush it. Everything has to be absolutely perfect. I know some of the guys I follow on Instagram, their sole purpose in life is to see how many parts they can make in a day. And that's fine. That's not my driving force. My driving force is to see how good I can make it at any cost, at any time requirement. And if you've been watching my videos for 4 years now, you kind of know that that's my MO, that's my default mode. So we put in the time, we put in the work, a lot of late nights, a lot of early mornings, a lot of full days here, just stuck to the computer figuring out CAD CAM. Speaking of which, September we decided to try out Fusion 360 from Autodesk, which is a CAD CAM package. Mind blown by that. I've been on SolidWorks and HSM Works, HSM Works is also an Autodesk product. Very similar to Fusion, but just CAM. Anyway, Fusion 360 is the future, ladies and gentlemen. Eric has always avoided SolidWorks and HSM Works. He's not much of a computer guy. When I got him onto Fusion, he's like, it's like a productive video game. I can't stop doing it. I just spent 14 hours yesterday doing it. I am addicted. So that's fantastic. So we are probably 90% invested in Fusion 360 right now. I still have some stuff in SolidWorks that I have to do because it was done in SolidWorks, so it's easier to just keep doing it in SolidWorks. But everything new has been in Fusion. Fusion's amazing. Big learning curve from SolidWorks guy. Months before we're like proficient at it, but those months, they got to happen. They got to start. You got to be able to do it. Otherwise, you're never going to get really good at it. So start now. Same goes for anything. So anyway, Fusion 360. I've been working on the Tormac lathe a lot, and I really like it. I'm dialing in tolerances to the 10,000th of an inch, and it's really good. So I've made a lot of parts, low volume prototype parts that need to be high volume eventually. I haven't run it for high volume parts yet. But that's my next step, is I've got all the code dialed in, I've got all the tolerances dialed in. Now I just need to mass produce, things like my pivots, my spacers. We're going to make our own titanium screws, etc., things like that. So a lot of fun on the Tormac lathe. I have not been using the Tormac mill much lately. I'm having a weird problem where the spindle shuts off, like it's got a mind of its own, and I've been trying to debug that. And I don't need it at the moment because we're in a heavy R&D phase for the Mori and the Tormac lathe. The Tormac mill is just sitting there looking pretty until I can get that fixed, and then I'll use it for lots of little stuff, R&D, little fun projects, fixtures, inlays, things like that. What else? My family also moved to a house in town. We were out in the country before for many reasons. I won't go into it, but benefits are we're much closer to the kids' school. We can walk to school, walk to town. There's a lot more friends. around for both kids and grown-ups, which is always fun. And it's good. It's fine. Not ideal, but we're not going to be there forever. Our goal is to build our dream house in the next few years. And I think this shop and that house that we moved into temporarily will allow us to get there. Eric got a dog, Falcor. He's a golden doodle. Eric is absolutely smitten with him. I think he likes being a master, training his dog. He's doing a very good job of training the dog, and the dog is taking to it very well. He's a really, really good dog. I've seen hyper crazy dogs. Maybe they weren't trained right or whatever, but Eric's been binging on Caesar Milan, the dog whisperer, and he's doing a great job. Coincidentally, Eric also learned Fusion 360, has been, like I said, diving into it full steam. I'm really proud of him. His growth over the past, let's say, 6 months. He put probably most of the work into renovating the shop, the cleaning, the painting, the pressure washing, and all that. And then Fusion 360, and he's now able to design a part in Fusion 360, cam it, run it on the Mori. He can run the Mori by himself. He can probe parts. He can do fixture offsets. He can do it all. I'm really, really proud of Eric's progress and how he's coming with that. My wife wrote a book every November. She's part of a thing called NaNo, which is National Novel Writing Month. And she's been doing it for 10 years now. And the point is, in November, you spend the entire month and you write 50,000 words. That's your goal. It's a big deal. It's kind of a lot of words. You got to really focus on it. And this is the first year since having kids 6 years ago that she's been able to actually attempt and finish a book, 50,000 words. And it's a really fun book. It's about like fairies and trolls in a modern day setting, and it's meant for fun, but she took it seriously, and we're going to publish it. It's going to be really cool. Let's see. Real quick, before the battery runs out, I'm very proud to say, from a business standpoint, we've been doing knives now for 4 years, and our gross yearly income has doubled every 4 years for the past 4 years. And 2015 was no exception. It was probably more than doubled. I haven't reconciled all the books yet, but I think we more than doubled 2014 gross income. And that's with 6 months of not really doing much work-wise, like knives out the door, because we've been R&D. I'm really looking forward to 2016. I think we will be able to smash the doubling again. In fact, I'm going to proclaim now that I hope we quadruple 2015's income. I think we can do it. I think it's going to be amazing because as of tomorrow, January 1st, or next week basically, we will be ramping up production, and then we will have an entire year of production, like big time production with the Mori and the Tormac lathe running and the Tormac mill doing whatever it needs to do. I don't know if we have the room or need to get a second big machine, but we'll see how the year turns out. To be able to claim that for 4 years straight we've been doubling income, compounding, is pretty amazing, and I'm really proud to say, from a small business owner, from an entrepreneur standpoint, that's not easy to do. So it's thanks to our determination, and it's thanks to our loyal customers who are absolutely diehard Grimsmo Knives fans. Thank you so much, guys. You guys rock. All the positive feedback we get, the comments, the likes, the shares, the hey guys, you got to check this guy out kind of thing. Just love it. And the last thing I've been doing this year is I've been learning business a lot. I've been researching and watching a lot of YouTube, listening to a lot of podcasts about business related things, enhancing my personal skill and my personal understanding of what it is to be an entrepreneur, what it is to hustle, what it is to grind and do all those things. And it's really transformed the way that I mentally process everything and the time that I invest in working versus running a business. So 2016 is going to be a big year for me as an entrepreneur, as an owner. We might hire some people. We might, as I said, maybe get another machine. It's more likely that we'll hire people first. We want to get a buttload of knives out the door this year. We've got everything dialed in perfect. Now we just need to produce. So 2015 was the year of change. 2016 is the year of progress. That is my motto, my closing statement for the year. I hope this has been somewhat helpful, enlightening to some of you. All you other guys who are running your own businesses, entrepreneurs, get out there and hustle. 2016 is going to be freaking amazing. Do what you need to do to get things done. It's kind of stupid, but hustle. I mean, it's not about 9 to 5. It's about 24/7. I mean, my brain does not turn off when I leave work. Even though I now have a 9 to 5 job, come here 9 to 5 because of family and school and things like that. That schedule works really good for me. My brain doesn't turn off when I go home. I got a 15-minute commute there and back, and I get to think and process. I'm sitting there washing the dishes, and I figure stuff out. I'm laying there in bed. I figure stuff out. I stay up late. I get up at 5 a.m. every morning. I don't stay up too late, but I get up at 5 a.m. I hustle. I put in the time. It takes time. As I found out the past 6 months, learning Fusion, learning the Mori, cleaning the shop, it takes time. You got to invest your time if you're going to reap any benefits from it. And that's where I'm at right now. Hopefully now we're at the time of reaping those benefits, which is going to be great. I cannot wait to reap those benefits and maybe have $1 or $2 in my pocket and not just keep investing every one of my pennies into the shop. Because my problem is I want to do this. I want to go this. I want to go here. I want to make this. I want to grow. I want to buy this tool. I want to invest everything back into the business. We need to pull a little bit back for ourselves personally so that we can build our dream house like I was talking about. And Eric's got his own plans too, but this is not his video. This is my video. So that's it. 2016, going to be amazing. Please stay tuned. I think if I do hire a video guy to come in here and help film and help edit and all that, then there'll be a lot more content on YouTube, which will be a lot more fun. So that'll probably happen in 2016 because it's just, talking to the camera one-on-one is easy enough, but multiple camera angles, lots of editing, back and forth and all that. It'd be nice to have a guy inside. Whoa. And there's Eric. Later, guys. Bye.